Hey guys, welcome back to Golden Medieval. So I have actually let some time pass by so that we can get some more of this built out. So as you can see, I've already got the seven homes here dug out and ready to go in terms of building up their walls. What we need to do after that is just get the wood flooring down, but I wanted to show you what that looked like. So essentially, you'll have two cross beams here to provide support, and then you'll have a wood floor, and then eventually we'll get, you know, our torches and our fires and beds, etc. in there. There should be enough space for everybody, to be quite honest, in terms of the living space that they have. They're not going to have so many things that it's not going to be enough space at all. And it also provides us, honestly, with expanding out if we need to. We would just open up these 3 blocks here, build out, and then expand out, essentially. Not too bad. But it also gives us the ability to expand this direction should we add more people, obviously, which we eventually will be getting more people here. Another thing that has also happened is I've added more farming space. So now we have red currants soon. All these bushes here we'll harvest and then plant here. I've added carrots, and I've added beets as well, though no one can actually plant beets because no one has the required skill of 20 just yet. I think if anyone is close, it's going to be, yeah, it's going to be Ada. I don't think anybody else is close. Oh, no. Awarnock is now finally able to. Okay, that's perfect. We'll do that. Have them come and plant. So obviously you could tell we're in spring now. I believe I left off either in late fall or in winter last time. We did have a raid, which I will include in this video. It was at a prior recording. I have actually spent quite some time trying to get the recording done, and I also learned that these spots here are not currently covered. In fact, I don't know why that's showing like that. Just do that. So we'll need to build these 2 walls here as well, so they can't actually walk through. They were all coming here and then walking right here and coming down. So I'm going to have everyone run over to this position here, because this should still be the closest position that they'll head to, if I'm not mistaken. In fact, that's pretty much exactly what it looks like. So we should be able to go and actually have them come up here. So what I accidentally realized just now is that these 2 spots are still open to them, unfortunately. So I'm going to need to have all the archers pretty much chill back over here and shoot at them from afar so that we can get the melee people up close and in their face. And hopefully it'll pan out for us. I also hope that everyone gets here in time. It should be everybody. It is. Perfect. Now, are they doing exactly what I thought they would? Yes, I'm going to speed it up just a little bit. This is as fast as you can go on this, so. Yes, exactly what I thought. Brilliant. Come on, buddy. Get in range. Yep, you're in range. Of course, everyone's missing. Are you guys going to just sit there, or are you going to attack? Come on, survive, survive. Brilliant. All right, archers. Take them out. Sweet trick and run away. All right, so we survived another battle. And thankfully, that'll mean another day for us to, what is it, like get a bonus to our happiness and whatnot. So that's good. Now I can also make sure that this is taken care of. I should honestly build a better defensive structure right around here, but for now I'm just gonna leave it as is, to be quite honest. Let's make sure this is all allowed. There we go. Perfect. Now everyone can go convalesce and feel better and keep doing what they're doing. But yeah, pretty good attack and pretty good defense. For quite some time before that, I had them go hunting because we were running out of food, and Henrik, it was a bruised nose. He had a bruised nose and convalesced for 260 hours. Why? Anyway, the last thing I did was I added more brickworks because obviously I need a lot more bricks. In fact, I'm completely out of clay at this point. Settlers haven't come and collected this clay for some reason yet. And it might be just by virtue of not having an easy spot to get to there. I really don't know, but I've made it accessible to them. I took it off of Forbidden, so I'm surprised they haven't honestly just come and picked it up. But for now, I think we're gonna continue digging out the clay here because that's what I did earlier. And yeah, I'll meet back with you guys here as soon as more of the housing down below is finished. So I'll see you here in a bit. All right, everyone. So we actually ended up getting another raid on us because we got another settler, Athelstan. Or Athelstan, sorry. Anyway, we are going to defend him, obviously. So what we need to do is get everyone ready. We are going to pause. So they entered in over here, which means they will likely do exactly what I want them to do and head over here. It's too bad that these walls didn't get built, but I think we'll be okay. We'll do what we did last time. Draft everybody. Have them head over here. So let's get the 4 archers. Have them set up pretty much. Probably safe to put them here, to be honest. Maybe have him go there. Henrik can go here. Ada can go there. Thaberga can go there. So it should be the closest to this spot here. They should all be within range of this. And then we'll tell the melee people to just go here. We don't want them on. We don't want them up here right now. Well, we don't want anybody up here because they're going to come straight through here first anyway. Speed up the time so they all get there. Yep, and here they all come. Because again, they're targeting this for whatever reason first. And they will take the path of least resistance, which is going to be right here for some reason. All right. Tell them to manually attack. Oh, this isn't good. This isn't good at all. No, we're fine. We're good. We're good. It's okay. Them climbing up here was kind of terrifying, but we're okay. This guy's screwed. Everyone charge. All right. We survived the raid, which is really good. In fact, we killed everybody, which is even better. We're going to allow all that so they can pick it up and do what they will with it. But yeah, we survived another raid. We have assisted another settler, so got a lot of people that need to convalesce and tend and whatnot. A lot of injuries here. Henrik got severely injured, it looks like. Another 65 hours of convalescing. Again. He'll be okay though. We have made some progress on the construction. Actually, not that much time has honestly passed, but it's getting built up. What I ended up doing is, because there were so many things that needed to be done still, they ended up just ignoring the construction for the most part, even the people that had construction at level 1. And I just ended up putting 1 for everybody so that this just gets completed. And honestly, it went really fast. As you can tell, there's only just a few blue spots, or basically blueprints remaining. So just a matter of time for that to get done, and then we'll be able to start moving people down. And we'll need to dig out another spot here for Ethelstan so that he can also have a home to live in. But for now, we're just gonna probably leave him up here once everyone starts moving down, just so we can get to that point. But once again, I will see you guys here in just a moment. All right, everyone, as you can tell, the construction of our underground homes is now essentially complete. We have one more little wall torch to finish here, and I'm not sure why it hasn't been finished yet. Oh, wood, duh. So got to fill that out, and then I am digging out the rest of the area here so that we can have a wide hallway, and I will end up putting probably wood flooring down as well. What I've gone ahead and done as well is I have enough seeds, or saplings really, and I created a couple of tree fields. So I got field maples and birch trees here, and they're all, it's kind of hard to see, but they are all growing. Every slot is taken, I believe, except for the middle here, it looks like. But they'll chop them down when it's time, and as you can tell, there's trees growing around it as well. But I also have apple trees going too, which will be harvested when the time is right, and they will also be cut down when necessary. I've also been harvesting the red currants as they become ripe, and obviously I'm growing red currants over here. I'm not going to sow these fields after these harvests because we're getting close to fall/winter for the most part. But we should have plenty of food by then, thankfully. I mean, you can tell here we got plenty of milk, eggs, roasted meat, stew, got cabbage and barley, etc. Doing pretty well there. Pretty sure, I better turn that off. We don't want them to use red currant and barley currently. We want barley to be held off because we're going to try to make a brewing station eventually, which I'm trying to figure out, where does that come up? Forgot to mention, I did do cooking and beekeeping research because obviously you want bees for wax and honey, and then obviously you want cooking for the cooking station, or the stove rather, which has turned this room into an actual kitchen, which is really nice. But where is our brewing station? It's bound to be up here. It's probably, let's see, chemistry. Nope, that's apothecary. Am I blind? Am I just not seeing it? Fermenting. It's a fermenting station. Ah. Distilling. Oh, brewing right there. Unlock. So now we can brew, which is what we really, really need. We got plenty of barley for it, so let's build that brewing station. Should be plenty of room there. This will allow us to make alcohol. Well, we can make alcohol right now, but this is going to make us beer, essentially. Oh. We have successfully trained Harry the dog. Awesome. Let's assign Harry a female dog. Let's assign to Ada. They can haul and do vermin control. That works out for me. That's the only one we've been able to train so far, which is not very good, unfortunately. I have them training all the dogs, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Hopefully it'll pan out and the other two will get trained up. Because I believe if you train your dogs, any subsequent born animals end up being trained as well. They are domestic, obviously, but they just need to be trained in order to do things, which is good. I've also been collecting as many of the herbs and whatnot as I can as well in anticipation for not only the apothecary, excuse me, but they also need herbs for, you know, healing and whatnot too. So just been actively going around and making sure I'm catching everything as I'm going here. We are doing really well on building our homes up, like I mentioned, but we're also going to be able to get through and get all this cleaned out so that we could start. I'll have to start removing these as I go, obviously, but we can start getting more homes built, essentially. I'm running out of space on the dirt pile, if I'm not mistaken, so let's expand this. That's annoying. Expand that out and just do this. It's not really gonna matter. Just a big old huge dirt pile zone. That's ripening. All right, so all I have to do, which is really cool, double click the dirt piles and hit the U key, and that causes an urgent haul order. And so now these will be hauled first. Now I obviously have my Astley. Oh, Harry the dog gave birth to Bilbo and Duchess. Now, does my theory stand? Yes, I was right. So they do get born as trained animals. So immediately they can haul and do vermin control. Thankfully, we don't really have much of an issue with vermin now that we've basically taken care of the entrances to all of our areas. They have no means of getting in. So I don't have to worry about polecats or foxes or anything like that coming in and stealing my food or killing my animals, stuff like that. I'm honestly not worried about that any longer. What I had ended up doing before, as you remember, I had just sticks for the walls, for the fences here. For whatever reason, they just they waltzed right in and walked under and ate all the food, unfortunately. I mean, there was a point in time where this whole cabbage field was completely filled up and they ate like half of it. So I ended up putting up these limestone fences, but I mean, at this point it's kind of pointless, but we're fine. We'll keep them up. We don't need, you know, too much space right now anyway for this type of stuff. Maybe eventually we'll get rid of this little like plateau and maybe expand out. I don't know yet. It's not honestly necessary at the moment though. We don't have nearly enough people to make it necessary. Like I said, we have plenty of food at the moment. We're doing a lot better on food this year than we are in the last year. We actually kind of struggled mightily. And like I said, we had to hunt and whatnot too. So ideally, you want your farm animals, of which I have so many, but you want your farm animals to basically provide your meat and your farmers to provide your vegetables and whatnot so that you can cook here at the cooking station any food that you need. So we're looking right now, not too bad. Accidentally made those red currant pies, which is not very good, because we want the red currant right now to be fermenting juice. In fact, let's just change this to 120. We want to get as much fermenting done as possible. Down here is our fermenting stash. What we'll do is we will forbid anyone from touching this fermenting juice pile. And like I mentioned early on in this series, you can actually forbid them from touching the aged, or sorry, the fermenting fruit juice and the rough wine as well. And the rough wine can change into aged wine, and they'll like that a lot more. I'm not going to do that at the moment simply because I don't want to... I don't want them to not have a drink, essentially, because they haven't had a drink in a long time. All right. So as you can see here, ale is 20 barley, beer is 20 barley and 5 herbs, or we could do mead. Now, what I want is to basically do... It's kind of hard because in order for me to make the honey, I need to do these skeps. They take 20 hay each. Now the honey, if I remember correctly, it's a year-round thing. They don't stop producing honey, which I don't know if that's very realistic or not in terms of beekeeping. Let me know in the comments if you know. I don't personally know. But the main thing about these is that hay usage, which kind of sucks. I need these skeps in order to make fermenting mead, obviously. So we're going to stick with mead for now as a drink. We're not going to use coal or wood. We're just going to use sticks for the time being. We have so many sticks. That's it. Yeah, we have 1,600 sticks. We'll just use sticks to burn. And then we want, let's just say, let's also put this at 100. But yeah, I'm worried about, maybe not necessarily worried, but it's just, I like to keep enough hay so that I can feed all these animals. I mean, as you can tell, I have 2 troughs that are feeding them currently. I just don't want my animals to die from lack of food. It sucks, obviously. So we'll create these skeps. We'll have, see, they produce 45 honey, and I'll set them to forever, to be quite honest. Or I could make it, let's see. Let's have it set to 45, huh? Set to 300. I think that should suffice, right? I think it should be enough. Obviously, as you can tell, I have it on fast speed. At this point, I don't think there's any other reason not to do fast speed when doing these things, just because this can be slow. And I'm not really demonstrating anything quite yet to you guys, so just want to keep it on fast speed to get things done. I'll probably slow it down once I want some, more important things to happen, but yeah, I'm going to get this stuff done here, and we'll catch up once I have started producing mead. All right, guys, welcome back. So we are starting to make mead. And I've actually calculated that we have enough barley. You can see up here, we have 123 currently, but we have enough barley to basically sow our field and make 60 fermenting ale. Now, it says 48 right now. I didn't have enough at this particular moment. I had to wait for this field to actually continue, be harvested. But we have enough per every harvest of this field to make 60 fermenting ale. So we should have now mead, ale, and fermenting fruit juice on our pile moving forward. That should provide plenty of drinks now, thankfully. And soon we'll be getting apples, which will also, in fact, they're actually harvesting them right now, which is perfect. But we'll get apples, which will give us the ability to add that on top of. Oh, this one grew outside. That's brilliant. There's 2 apple trees that grew outside. Even better. So this will give us the ability to have apples and red currants at the same time, considering that we are also not only harvesting the ripe ones that are here in the wild, we're also going to be harvesting these guys here when they're ready. And they'll replant them as well, which is going to be super nice. I mean, we're sitting at 135 red currant currently, and I don't believe, yeah, this is idle because we already have plenty of fermenting fruit juice. So this should afford us the ability to have multiple different avenues of approach for drinking, which is what we absolutely need. I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone is still desperately thirsty. Yeah, and that's obviously a negative modifier on their mood. Eventually, everyone will be drinking, everyone will be eating good meals once we start making, you know, better meals. And that'll bring up their moods to the point where they'll be actually happy. And you'll see on their icons up here, there's usually a little like green happy face in the top right corner of their little portrait. And that'll be indicative of them being quite happy with where they're at the moment. So it means that it's gonna be harder for them to leave if they get annoyed, stuff like that. It's just a good thing to have. I don't know if there's any bonuses per person, like if it provides them like a skill bonus or a crafting bonus. I really don't truly know, but I guess I could look here. I keep forgetting that this game also has an almanac. Let's look up mood. No, it just keeps them happy, which is what you want. You want your settlers to be happy. So another thing I did, which you could probably tell, is I removed 3 of the buildings that we had for housing to create more space up here on the, you know, on the surface. I still have plenty of work to do down here. Now this is still the housing area that we're digging out. We'll be building more housing, obviously, to accommodate not only, you know, Athelstan, he's still awaiting his home down below, but we're going to have more settlers, obviously, at some point, which looks like we can accommodate. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14 right now. And that'll be a pretty good start. If we need to expand out, what I'm worried about here is obviously this is here. So if I dig out down here, it's going to show up here, unfortunately. So what I'm going to need to figure out is a means of getting, probably just dig out. I'll just give you an example. I'll probably dig out to here and then just go like this. And then maybe try to, you know, do something here with, you know, a hallway leading down this way, etc. That should be pretty doable. It's really unfortunate that we're like right at this limit right here, but it is what it is. I think it'll just have to be like this, which is fine. Let me cancel this stuff here. But we have plenty of space, thankfully, underground. We're doing quite well. And if I really wanted to, I could just dig out these areas here. I decided to keep them as dirt because I was actually thinking about digging them here. And I'm still not sure if I will or I won't. But if I do, this will make it a lot easier to get to the other side. Other side, so to speak. So, yeah, we're doing pretty good here. We got everyone but Athelstan in a home downstairs. We have plenty of food coming in. We are doing well on the drinks. All our fields are now going to be barren for now, or not barren, but fallow for now, while, you know, fall and winter start to creep in. We only have one more day of summer, but we have plenty of red currants down here to harvest. We got plenty of wood coming in. In fact, more trees are growing around everything, which is really cool. And yeah, I think we're in a pretty good spot. Now, what I'm going to probably do on the overland is eventually, and I know I talked about this before, I want to make like a little, essentially like a tower for them to defend from while having access to the underground. So basically it would be like a centralized point. And then I can get rid of these outer defenses. And then that'll force them to just come towards this tower and we can defend it a lot easier and it'll be a lot harder for them. We'll still make walls around the tower, don't get me wrong. We'll have walls everywhere, to be honest, in terms of making sure that they can't get through, especially because once they start bringing trebuchets, we're going to be kind of in a world of hurt in that they can knock down walls pretty easily. So we got to be mindful of that. If we build a tower, we got to be mindful of them being able to hit that tower. So it's a balancing act in that regard, trying to figure out how are we going to defend ourselves while we're underground, and how do we make it more enticing to come to a centralized location so that they end up targeting an area where we can defend easily from. So that's a little bit down the road. For now, our next steps, probably when it comes to the underground, aside from, you know, doing the housing here is to eventually do my idea of the commercial zone, which we can dig out more of this area here. Again, we'll leave this side as residential and this side can be commercial. And we'll basically dig out an area to build the kitchen and storage, etc. I'm thinking right now we're looking at storage level that is equal to our residential level. I'm thinking what I might do is create a big underground, like we're talking like huge underground storage, probably at a lower level than this one, so that one, will have tons of storage available, and two, it'll be at a level where it'll honestly be consistently cool, because we want our food and our seeds and our fermenting ingredients to be in a controlled environment. Right now, the fermenting ingredients are actually pretty happy in this zone. They are, as you can tell here, they're all within a stage in temperature where they will ferment and they will never decompose, thankfully. So I think we might stick with this just for now because it's obviously the most immediately accessible area. But I do want to make that giant storage zone. And I've done that in the past for my gameplay, my game playthroughs. So it's pretty, honestly, pretty amazing, especially once you start doing ice making, which we can actually research right now. And it might not be a bad idea because we're getting close to winter. So let's just get that going. And let's get these built here. So these will not activate until winter, obviously. And it has to be cold enough outside too, so at least 32 degrees. We'll just build 6 of these. Now, one thing I forgot to mention is, see here the production speed 100%. When we had started building these skeps, they were actually sitting in a winter or weather condition, excuse me, of fog. And that was actually reducing the production speed by 50%. So even though they're required to be outside and there's like nothing I can do about that, they will get negative modifiers from negative weather events, at least negative according to them. And I'm pretty sure the same thing applies to ice boxes in terms of it may be cold outside, but maybe the sun is out, or it's still winter, but somehow it's 40 degrees. Like things like that can happen and it'll pause. Thankfully, you don't lose any, like if your ice box was at like 75%, let's say, complete, it doesn't just go away. Unless they made a change, it doesn't go away. It'll sit like that until the next winter rolls around or until the conditions are cold enough, and then it'll continue to make more ice. But the main reason why you want ice is, I mean, it should be obvious. You're trying to keep your things cool. If they're in a lower level in a large storage room, you can actually create, and I'll show you this once I end up doing it, you can create zones where it's just ice. You can say, okay, I want a zone right there, and I'm going to clear everything, and I want it to be, where is it? I have to remember where it's at, of course. But, probably a material. Nope. Oops. Maybe manufactured. Yes. All right. There we go. You can say, I want ice blocks there only. And they will put ice blocks there, and you can set them, you know, certain priorities and whatnot. So what I ended up doing was like making ice block zones rather, in particular spots so that the entire room was essentially a refrigerator, and it made food last for a very long time, and I didn't have to worry about anything related to food or, you know, fermenting ingredients, etc. Everything was just well kept, and it worked out really, really well. So that's why I want to do a big storage zone. Beyond that, I mean, really, it's just a matter of getting the new homes set up, and then we'll end up building our commercial area as well. We got plenty of resources around us. In fact, we have tons of clay here. We got salt, we have silver, limestone, iron, and we actually have coal right here as well, which is just amazing. So we have coal over here that we've already started digging out, and we have coal over here, which is just super, super useful. We do have obviously this river sitting right here, which there's plenty of eels, trout, and pike, plenty of fish to come, to go around. We could start fishing again here soon. I already did a little bit of fishing when I was struggling with food, but it wasn't terribly fruitful. There wasn't enough, and it wasn't working out, but it will work out here eventually. Again, we have more iron and silver over here as well. We are just chock full of resources in this area, so we're in a very, very good position where our village is at. It will be much more defensible too. I mean, having the natural boundaries is a fantastic thing to have, and it has afforded us a much easier time defending ourselves, currently speaking. So we'll probably still use the natural boundaries. We can even do, I'll show you the research here, and it might actually be a prudent approach, to be quite honest. We could do terraforming next, and then we could just make natural, we can get rid of the wood walls and just make natural boundaries where raiders will have to go to a very particular point to get into our village and even to attack it. So that's what we could try doing to start with. And in fact, we could even build natural boundaries to the point where I don't believe their trebuchets can even hit us, to be quite honest. So it's something to explore there when it comes to our defenses and raiding and whatnot. But for now, I think this is actually a good place to stop. We've done quite a bit in terms of setting things up and, getting food and drinks going. And I think we're in a pretty good spot moving forward. Things are starting to accelerate, thankfully, especially now that we're getting more villagers coming in, and it helps to have the extra hands, to get through all the jobs, the construction and whatnot. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, obviously give me a like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks. Bye.